We are out here today at Alkai Beach for the paddle to Muckleshoot for Inland Northwest Native News. And what's your name today?
My name is Shana Howdepat.
And you're a...
I'm enrolled Yakama.
All right. So is this your first paddle?
No, it's not. I've been to a few of the paddles.
All right. How's this year's looking?
It's looking beautiful. This is what I was so anxious to see, is coming down to Alkai and just watching all the canoe families come on in.
All right. So how many of these you've been to?
I think I've been to about 4.
Nice.
Yeah, about 4.
Is this the best one so far?
This is the second canoe landing I've been to. I've been to maybe about 4 of the actual, when they have the protocols and everything at their, at their homelands. But for canoe landings, it's only my second one I've been to.
Great. And what do you like best about coming out to things like this?
I like to see just all the different natives that come out for it, but just not that. I appreciate seeing the non-natives who are so interested in, seeing what's going on, and their curiosity, about what they're witnessing.
Yeah. So we have a lot, kind of a revived canoe culture on the Columbia and Inland Northwest. Had you ever been out on a canoe?
I have not.
No. Did you hear about the Big River Salmon Jump this year?
No, I didn't.
So they started up in British Columbia, and they paddled the Columbia all the way down to the confluence at the Snake River. So it was, I think, 43 days on the water. What is that? How do you think about stuff like that?
I'm really happy to hear that our culture is getting revitalized. That we're showing showing and sharing our culture with everyone, and decolonization.
So what kind of work do you do?
I work with Mother Nation. I'm an MMIWP Family Advocate.
Oh, that's great. We've actually done a lot of work with that. That's great. Do you work with the governor's task force at all?
I am. I do participate in the task force subcommittee meetings.
Oh, nice. Can you tell me how are things going with that?
It's going great. They're getting ready for their annual report, and we are currently, right now, what I am doing, I participate in the family subcommittees, and I participate in the community subcommittee of the task force meetings, and we meet bi-weekly. And right now I'm not on the official task force, but I do participate as a member of the community and member of a nonprofit organization.
All right. So what nonprofit is that?
Mother Nation.
Mother Nation. All right. Yeah. So we did some work to get the Eastern Washington liaison for the governor's state patrol. Dawn Pullen. We worked to get her the funds reinstated for her position a couple years back. We actually drafted a resolution. Well, we drafted a letter asking Spokane Tribal Council to ask Jay Inslee to reinstate that because he pulled that funding because of COVID. And then our council said, well, why don't you ask some of the other tribes? And so we asked AT&I. They drafted a resolution and put it forth to Inslee, and then Inslee got it back. So you're working with Patty Ghosh, are you?
Let me see. I've all through Zoom. I've met them through Zoom, so I'm very familiar with Patty and Dawn.
So just out of curiosity, earlier this year, so we did a art show at Gonzaga University in Spokane to raise awareness to the MMIW issue over a year ago. It would have been a year in February. And so this year, about a year after that art show, we noticed that the numbers, I think at that time, were at 132 open cases in Washington State, but then it went up to 143 this year. Do you know if that number has come down from 143?
Very little. I believe right now, we are at 132.
Oh, good. So
the list is updated every 2 weeks. Patty Ghosh and Dawn Pullen update that list every 2 weeks. And so a new one should be coming out, I believe, next week.
All right.
And it can be found on the Washington State Patrol website under Missing Indigenous People Alerts.
Cool. Well, it's nice to meet you. Thank you for taking time. Anything you want to say to Indian Country?
If you've never been here to Canoe Journeys, please, I encourage you to come out and head out to Muckleshoot and check out protocols. You'll have a good time.
We're out here today with David Bean, former chairman. Is that right?
Correct.
Correct. Are you on council now? Or are you good?
No, I'm not serving on council, but I serve as the vice chair of the Indian Gaming Association.
All right. Cool. And how's that going?
It's going incredibly well. We got a lot of work in front of us. We're protecting tribal sovereignty, protecting Indian gaming, and promoting economic development diversification. So it's been busy.
All right. Were you on one of the canoes here?
No. I'm part of the Puyallup tribe. I practice with our folks, but we had a lot of kids that put in a lot of work, and it was important that they get on the canoe and bring this, on this final leg of the journey.
All right. That's good. So how many of these events have you been to?
I've been coming to these since 2006.
Yeah.
Although Canoe Journey is much older than that, I found my way in 2006 when Muckleshoot first hosted. And so the song and dance, the feeling is just, it's indescribable. I told my wife, I says, I got to be here when the canoes land. I don't know why, but I got to be there. And so we just made our way up here to take part and witness, this revitalization of our culture. That's what this is all about.
Has this grown at all since the first one you did?
It's grown tremendously, yes. I would say it's doubled in the last 15, 16 years, and it just keeps getting bigger. As more of I always say our canoe babies.
Oh.
When the canoe babies, they get born, or they're born and they grow up, they get on the canoe, and so I'm seeing a lot of young dancers. I see young skippers, and if you go back even 15 years ago, there was very few folks who knew how to skipper a canoe. Now we're seeing our kids skipper the canoe and lead the songs and dances, and to me, that is the ultimate testament to resiliency, right? I told my grandkids, when we were kids, we didn't have none of this. We had songs that we borrowed from our Alaska relatives, from our Plains relatives, and now we have our own songs, our own canoes, our own dances, and so we're bringing it back to life.
That's powerful.
Yes, sir.
That's powerful. So tell me, as far as the revitalization goes, what kind of impact has gaming had on cultural revitalization?
Gaming has had a tremendous impact in that the revenues utilized, provide essential government services, not just for housing, healthcare, and education, but for training, our young ones and creating programs for an entire community, from the youngest child to the eldest elder, to learn our songs, to learn our dances, but most importantly, to learn our language. As a kid, there was very few speakers. Now within Puyallup, we have at least 300 speakers. We have programs in our early learning centers. And I see that with tribes all across Washington, across the U.S. Like our relatives in Spokane have that amazing immersion school. And I'm confident that was funded with proceeds from gaming revenues from your operation. So it's had a tremendous impact. It's helped us reclaim our culture and train, send our kids off to school. We're seeing folks with doctorates in linguistics, and so it's just a beautiful sight.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So I know you stepped down from council.
Yes, sir.
What's David Bean been up to? What's keeping you busy? What kind of projects are you working on?
I'm spending a lot of time with my family, with my grandkids. I have 5 grandkids now. At the age of 54, I got 5 grandkids. The youngest is 2.5 months. So I spent a lot of time with them. I jumped back in the private sector, tobacco distribution, helping grow tribal economies through tobacco sales and tobacco tax revenues. And so that's one way I can still stay engaged and help Indian country grow.
How long have you been doing that?
I always tell folks, funny story I tell kids, not kids, but folks, I said, can you imagine at the age of 7 selling 1 carton of cigarettes? I sold my first carton at the age of 7 in 1976. $3.75 a carton. The guy gave me a $5 bill. I counted his change back. 25 cents make 4 and 1 makes 5. So I've been doing this since 1976.
Wow, that's awesome. I didn't start till I was about 14 or 15 years old. Well, I'd go to the powwow selling cigarettes,
That's
man.
right.
Selling cigarettes is a big thing. Well, how is tobacco changed from then till now? I know we used to be able to do all sorts of different things, but in the state of Washington, how is that different now?
I think back then, it was really good for the operators. And then, the federal government really cracked down on the untaxed sales of cigarettes. And I think that was probably, while some see that as a negative, I think for tribes it's a huge positive in that they are now collecting tobacco tax revenues, to the tune of $27 to as low as $27 a carton to $35 a carton of tobacco tax revenue. And that is akin to gaming revenues in that it helps provide essential government services. So it's helped tribes grow economically, and it's helped sending our kids to school. It's helped funding elders programs, culture programs. So it's just one of those things that we promote to expand and diversify tribal economies.
All right. Cool. Is there anything else you're looking forward to this year?
I'm looking forward to getting back to DC. We got a couple of bills we're pushing in the gaming space. We're looking at raising the jackpot threshold. Right now, throughout the U.S., no matter where you go, if you win a $1,200 jackpot, you have to go through the IRS reporting process. That is an old, antiquated bill that was put in place in the mid-'70s and has never been adjusted. So now we're working on raising the jackpot limit to $5,000, from $1,200 to $5,000, and then every year it'll be adjusted for inflation. We're working side by side with the American Gaming Association, so tribal casinos, commercial casinos, we're all on the same canoe, so to speak, and we're paddling in the same direction, and we want to get that legislation passed. We're looking to repeal an excise tax on sports betting. Governments don't tax other governments, and ultimately that tax is passed on to tribal governments. Indian gaming is governmental gaming, and so we're letting the Congress know that governments don't tax other. You need to remove this illegal, antiquated tax. It was used to combat illegal gaming, and tribes across the U.S. have compacts. Commercial gaming has expanded, so there's really no need for that anymore.
All right. Is there anything else you want to say to Indian country?
Man, I love you. I'm so thankful to our elders, to our ancestors, for fighting those tough battles for future generations. You, me, we're all here because of our elders and our ancestors. The one thing I was always taught that, they knew tougher times than any of us will ever know, and they charged forward with one thing in mind. Well, two things: taking care of their community, but taking care of future generations. So I'm just so thankful. I raised my hands. I was boot Lachi Beach, boot licha. I raised my hands, and I'm thankful for all the sacrifices that everybody has made to get us here today, and to carry us into the future. Gratitude is what's on my mind, what's in my heart, and so I'm just thankful.
We are here today at Alkai Beach with Muckleshoot Tribal Elder
Ernestine Starr.
Ernestine Starr. All right, Ernestine.
They call me Ernie.
All right. Well, I was really digging the hat. The hat is in. How did you get this hat?
I worked for it. I'm a cook for funerals and memorials, and I did a memorial dinner, and it was a gift to me.
Well, I'm a Spokane, and we have one of our cooks from the Longhouse, and she cooked her way on to tribal council. She's on council now. Are you going to make a run for council now?
Oh, no, I'm not going to be running for no council.
Oh, no, I'm just kidding with you. This is just a wonderful event you guys got going here. You've probably been to a few of these. Do you know how many that you've been to?
I only been to a couple.
Oh, nice.
I've been to one in Squaxin, and I was to one at Canoe.
Oh, nice. How was the one at Canoe?
Oh, that was something to see. All these canoes coming in off the ocean. It was wonderful. It was nice. It was a nice, big, open beach.
Yeah.
And I had one of my grandsons with me.
What was the best part about that for you?
To sit back and watch the protocol.
Oh, nice.
All the drumming and dancing. That is awesome. I can't wait to see what's going to happen up here this week.
Oh man, I love the songs. The songs are just amazing. The Muckleshoot tribe has such, well, for one, I got a chance to go out to the Muckleshoot Tribal School. That's an amazing place, but the Muckleshoots have had just a really good grasp on their culture. That must be something really to be proud of.
Well, I believe so.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What do you like best about living in this area?
I was born and raised in Muckleshoot. And I was a single parent to 3 boys, and I had to work, find jobs to raise them, because back then we weren't as fortunate as we are now, where the children get money for school and everything that they need.
Yeah.
Back in the day, I had to work for it.
Oh, yeah.
But it's also awfully nice now to see school and everything that they have.
Yeah.
It's wonderful.
Had you been in the school?
Oh, yes.
Yeah. What do you like about the school?
Oh, they have craft nights, and I go there sometimes to be with my grandchildren and help them out.
Nice.
And they have good sports going on.
All right.
I had a grandson in wrestling.
Oh, nice. That's good. Yeah, it's a beautiful facility. I was really happy to see that they have so many things for the youth to interact with. You know, there. I was fortunate enough. I got to interview a Cowlitz gal a few years ago that used to run for the Muckleshoot Tribal School. Her name was Rosalie Fish. Did you ever meet her? Do you know who I'm talking about?
I think I do.
Yeah. She ran for state over at Muckleshoot at Eastern Washington University 4 years ago. I interviewed her.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, she ran with the MMIWP handprint on her face, and that went viral, went all over the world, made a big impact.
Yes, it did.
That's great. So, what do you hope these types of events will do for the future generations?
I brought my grandchildren out to watch and hoping they will take some of it in.
Yeah. We're so fortunate to be able to do a lot of this, you know. Prior to the Religious Freedoms Act, you know, that was something that was really hard for a lot of people to overcome, but it's really been huge steps since then. You know, I was pretty little back when that changed, but I had talked to elders from before how it was, and so much of this stuff had to be underground. So to be able to come out and do this in public, right across the water from Seattle, you know, the Space Needle and all that, it's really a neat thing, and it's an honor to be here with people like you. I love to come out and listen to the stories from the elders. So thank you so much for your time. Is there anything that you'd like to share, maybe about your tribe, or maybe about the events, or maybe something else you'd like to share with Indian country?
I wish they were all here to come out and watch, but we're going to see. And I've met people today from Kansas. I met people from Arizona.
Oh, wow.
I've been meeting people today.
We are out here today at Alkai Beach for Paddle to Muckleshoot with, what's your name?
Uklama Skylene.
And where are you from?
I'm from Hitatsu, that's Ucluelet, BC, Vancouver Island.
Oh, nice. And what's your name?
Uklama Jada. I also live in Hitatsu in Ucluelet, BC.
All right. Well, you guys, did you come over on a canoe? Did you paddle over, or?
Unfortunately not this time, no. Our brother is in one of the tripods out there, so we came to cheer him on.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, we're really happy to come support him, come ashore and see everybody else make it on their journey.
Nice. So had you been to one of these before?
Yeah, I did. The last one I came to was in Lummi. Yeah.
Nice.
It was really awesome. It was so nice to be surrounded by all the culture. Yeah, it was really powerful.
What did you think about, I have a friend of mine that has a hand in organizing the Paddle to Lummi when they did that. What did you guys think? How did that compare to this one?
I just got here yesterday, but I'm excited to see. So far, so good, and I think Lummi did a really good job with all their resources, helping all the paddlers and providing food and water.
What so far has been the best part of this event for you?
I think seeing everybody come together so well, and my favorite part is seeing all the kids normalizing coming together like this and being around culture.
Totally, yeah, just the energy, to feel the energy, to hear all the different language, dialects, and to sit with our mom and grandma and just cheer everybody on. It's really amazing.
So I really try to rope in youth when I can, because I really like to hear the perspective of the future generations. One of the biggest things at the forefront right now is climate change. How do you guys feel about climate change and, you know, trying to save what resources that we have that are, you know, Mother Nature's provided for us? What are your views on those kind of things?
I think it's really scary, actually. And in school, where all the teachers are focusing on like letting everybody know like what's actually happening, and the best thing we can do is learn about it and spread the knowledge, and all the little things add up. And yeah,
She's the right person to ask from our community. We just recently switched to like the 3-bin system where we're recycling everything, and like everybody my age was a little bit pouty about it, but her age group was like really vocal and pushing for it, and everybody adjusted, and yeah, it's great. Yeah, it's great.
I know one of the things, the affiliated tribes in Northwest Indians, their youth council met over in Spokane, where I'm from, a couple years back, and they had a long list that they had, because so the affiliated tribes in Northwest Indians at that time had 57 tribes that were affiliated with them, and so this was their youth council, and they got up in front of everybody and read off this big long list of things that they wanted to see changed, and one of the biggest things was eliminating single-use plastics. Was that something that was part of what you guys are trying to do?
yeah, for sure. Our whole town in Ukilit adjusted to that. There's no plastic forks, no more plastic straws or grocery bags. It's all switched over to paper and like bamboo cutlery. Everything's compostable. Yeah, so our town really worked hard to make that change.
Comments?
No, same thing, like a little bit whiny and pouty at first, but everybody adjusted well, and we're remembering our reusable bags, and yeah, every little thing helps.
What was the hardest part? How many people were involved in making that transition, first of all, and then what was the hardest part of doing that for you?
I think that transition was put in place about like a year or two ago, and I think most of it came from the youth as well, like the high school. I know a lot of students were really voicing the change that they wanted to see happen.
And how many people in your community?
It's a really small community. I would say in Ukilit maybe 1,300, 1,500, really small, yeah.
What else would you like to see happen?
I would like to see people really focusing on the youth and protecting the youth and giving them everything they can to thrive.
Now, this question might be kind of a hard one for you to answer, and I would really appreciate just if you could answer kind of truthfully, but just know that we already know that there's a lot of variations between the United States, Indigenous people, and First Nations of Canada. You guys are kind of in between because you're out on Vancouver Island, but you have different laws and regulations up there than we have here. And it's a little bit more liberal here, which makes it a little bit more difficult for us to make those same types of changes. But my question would be, how do you think the youth in the tribal communities in the United States are doing as opposed to the youth from First Nations? Do you think First Nations are trying to keep up with the Americans, or do you think the Americans need to strive a little bit better for climate change and renewable energies and recycling and that kind of thing? Who do you think's doing a little better?
I'm not really familiar with how things are going here, but I think like the best thing you can do is like teach your people around you about what you know and just really work together. Yeah.
We don't get off our little res too often, so like we're not too familiar with other areas, but I just think, you know, the most important thing would be to gather like this and to get out and to have new experiences and to focus on culture, right? Like it could be an environmental discussion or it could be our culture, right? And taking care of Mother Nature and our environment is who we are. Yeah.
How do you think your community compares to like a global community compared to other countries? How do you think you're doing compared to other countries?
I feel like I've noticed a lot more plastic, like cups, like especially like drive-through. That was kind of different for us, like plastic straws and plastic cups, and not as many things are compostable. Yeah.
I think we're doing pretty well. Yeah, like if you're going to compare globally, we're all pretty bear aware, that's what we like to call it, and everybody's pretty focused on recycling as much as we can. So we do what we can with what we have there. Yeah.
You call it bear aware?
Bear aware, yeah. So we have black bears in our backyard, in our front yard. So we have to be really meticulous with how we recycle and how we get rid of our garbage. Otherwise, they come on in and they say a fed bear is a dead bear. So we all work pretty hard at that, I think, in our community.
Yeah, I think that was one of the biggest motivation to manage our garbage better, to keep our animals alive and well, and keep them out of our yard to keep everybody safe.
Yeah, and you'll stay out of theirs, huh?
Hey. Yeah.
So the most important question, who makes better salmon? Hey, I'm just kidding. Is there anything else that you guys or gals would like to share with Indian country?
Do you have anything?
Just super grateful to be here, and thank you to the hosts for doing such an amazing job, and for everybody coming together to just spread this energy and the message of how important culture is. Yeah, it really means a lot.
We were fortunate enough to catch up with the paddler today. What's your name?
Manuelito Martinez de la Cruz, and I'm from the Nooksack tribe.
You're a De La Cruz.
Yeah.
Are you from the De La Cruz family?
No.
Okay. I interviewed a De La Cruz elder down on the Quinault Res last October. I think James De La Cruz is who I interviewed. No. That's cool. So you just got off the boat. And what boat were you on?
The Canoe. It's called Wahilu Warrior for the Puyallup tribe. It's our second canoe that we have.
All right. And where did you paddle from today?
Suquamish. I forgot what part, but I just know we paddled from there.
How old are you?
15.
Wow. How long have you been paddling?
Since I was probably around 5 or 4.
Oh, you know what you're doing out there then.
Yeah, my grandma, when I was little, she used to always take me on a canoe journey and make me help out and stuff. Yeah.
That's cool. Well, let's look a little bit at the camera. Yeah, turn a little bit that way. Let's ask you this. So what was it like out there today for you?
It was calm, really. It's just hot. Really. But other than that, it was just kind of cool. All we did today was really just sing songs and this is what's called took on some water, really.
Yeah. So you've been paddling like 10 years. Are you skipper in?
No, I'm just sometimes I'm main lead on up top, like main lead, like main paddler. I usually do that, but when I'm not doing that, I'm usually sitting in the back or the middle.
So what do you like about paddling?
It's calming, really. There's no distractions. You're not on your phone. You're around a whole bunch of other people doing the same thing as you, and it's just we be singing traditional songs. Like on the way here, we were singing, and most of the time we're not really singing, but But other than that, I'd probably say just everything that we be doing. Like we all have to be in sync for all us to get to our destination.
Yeah. That's great. How is this paddle for you this year?
Like the whole thing overall?
Yeah.
It was pretty good. It was good. I started on, I don't know what day I started, but lately it's just been hot. It's just been...
Where did you start at?
Elwha, Lower Elwha. Lower Elwha. But...
That's good. All right. So what do you think is the most challenging thing for you?
What's it called? Probably the waves. Like the rollers, like the other day we almost tipped over and almost got hit by one of our support boats. Almost got crushed, but yeah, other than that, there's nothing really hard. I mean, unless if you don't know what you're doing, yeah.
You guys have a lot of rookies on your boat?
A little bit, yeah. There's probably about 5 or 6.
Well, I think everybody's a rookie at one point or another, huh?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Well, I appreciate you taking the time. What do you hope? What's your hope for these types of events and the whole canoe culture?
I would be hoping that that it would happen more often, and just like instead of this I wish more tribes would get involved. Like right now, I haven't seen Nooksack or Yakama, and those are both my tribes.
We are.
Hey, what's your name?
Alexis. Savannah.
Manuelito.
Vince.
Skyler.
Gerald.
And where are you guys from?
Puyallup tribe.
Puyallup tribe.
Puyallup.
So you guys just pulled in?
We just pulled in. We dropped in at Lower Elwha.
Yeah.
And made our way to Muckleshoot. And
Nice.
This is a final pull today. We got here safely, and that's all that matters.
Yeah. That's great.
As you can tell, there's a lot of youth on the canoe.
Yeah.
We had a brand new crew this year, and it's all mainly youth.
Awesome.
Yes.
That's what we like to see, man. That's the good stuff.
That's exactly right. They're not getting in trouble when
Yeah.
they're out on that canoe.
No, they're not.
You know,
It's healing, very healing.
very healing. They got to see a little bit about what the culture does for people
Yeah.
for their sobriety.
Yeah.
You know, it shows them that there is adults out there they can trust
Yeah.
and that accept them.
Yeah.
We want them to belong,
Yeah.
you know, and feel like it's okay to be here.
Yeah.
Be here on this journey.
Oh yeah.
That's our main staple, is to make sure that they want to be here.
You're the skipper.
I'm the skipper for our canoe family, one of many. The other skipper is Clinton McLeod, Jaron Marino, Carl Lorton. You know, so we have a few skippers in training as well, and we're starting with the youth. In fact, there goes the Wahilut Warrior, and there's Clinton McLeod bringing in some of the youth that are going to stay ashore while we take care of our canoes.
Excellent. So we came out to, check out the landing yesterday and down at Alkai Beach. That was amazing, really, really cool. And now they started this morning, they started protocol. And the protocol is going to go 24 hours for something like 6 days straight, is something what I heard. Can you tell us a little bit about protocol, why it's important, what the significance of it is?
You know, what I've learned is that I started working with the Frank's Landing people. I want to say it's been a few years ago, but the goal was to get their canoe journey going and get involved with that and get their communities within their community started. And so the learning process for that is thanks to Billy Franks had this opportunity to be part of this. And so the protocol, when we go in, each nation has their opportunity to present their songs and their dance. Each one is pulling for a purpose. It could be cancer, it could be any type of illness, I should say it that way, or any type of benefits or achievements that they want to recognize as a community. And at this time, they'll have that opportunity to present that and show that and talk about that. I think if in the background here we can hear one lady talking about their traditional values and what's unique about that for them, you know. And this is the opportunity. It's self-taught, self-aware, you know, so that they can teach each other and learn more. Yeah.
All right. So how long have you been involved with the canoe journey?
Since I want to say early 90s. About 7 years had the opportunity to be out on the water. Sequami, been with Muckleshoot, but never been out in the water with them. Frank's Landing, of course, and those were the main ones that I worked with. And so it's been about 7 years I've been on this and involved with something to do with the journey and take part and learn from. My job at one time was to help the whole community learn about their own traditional values and what's unique about it. And so In doing so, I learned the same along with them, and it was just an awesome job because we did all the research for them so that the songs came out, which they already had, but what were the ones that we wanted to sing here, you know. Yeah, and that was Medicine Creek. It's the name of the Canoe family.
That's really interesting that you say that. How long did you spend with those guys?
5 years. Yeah, 5 years. It was talking with Billy. We were talking about just wanting to get him off the land and in the water. You know, wanted to get these guys involved with it. He wanted to get his own family involved, and that was something that we started working on. And 5 years later, they, to me, became one of the best crews around as far as taking care of the canoe. And now I believe their children are doing it now. Yeah.
Wow, that's really cool. So I actually lived out on the peninsula for a while, and I got to meet some of those guys. And it's one of the smallest communities in the state and actually in the region.
Yeah.
One of the elders came to one of the presentations I did at Peninsula College, and he told me that he was pretty disheartened at the time because they're fluent speakers. They were losing a lot of their fluent speakers and didn't have very many left at all.
Yeah.
Do you know, what can you say, what can you talk as far as the language?
You know, it's Quackwood Seed language for in Frank's Landing area. That was what they were teaching there, and that they had some fluent speakers and they had elders there, and that was what was really nice, benefiting. And one of the things that I had the opportunity to do is put some cultural curriculums together to develop that into a more of a teaching practice that's within the schools itself. And today, it was actually a huge success because we did a ceremony, a small dance and song in the morning with the language. Had the children put together a pledge for their own school and take ownership of their own values as far as their learning in the language and their traditions. So they practiced that every 15 minutes before school started. Oh, wow. And then at the end of the school, before they finished, they ended that with a prayer and song also. Yeah. Wow. Yeah, pretty awesome.
That is pretty cool. You know, when we talk about protocol, some of these larger groups, some of the larger, not just canoe families, but entire tribes or clans, some of them have really deep roots in their culture. Other ones that aren't so big have lost so much of their culture, they really struggle to revitalize the whole protocol. What's your experience as far as being able to contribute or witness how they somewhat, I don't even know how to say it, reassemble that because so much is lost?
Well, my part in all of that was with the Suquamish tribe and Frank's Landing. And I was the head of their Frank's Suquamish canoe team, and at the same time I was involved with the full education in Frank's Landing, you know, and getting all those guys involved because it was going from the golf course to the canoe, you know, and it was a hard move to make, you know, to do something like that. And so that's why it took 5 years, you know, to finally get everybody focused on what the importance and the significance, because it's your tradition, it's your way of life. And when you start to lose what is culturally belongs to you as far as your heritage, you know, the importance of your mother and your grandmother and what's so far as far as how's that carried on to the next generation. That was what we were trying to accomplish with our own people so that they could do that themselves, you know, and learn the level that as far as their cultural needs on their own and be able to incorporate that into their own living process. And that was the goal that I believe Billy Franks was asking for at the time, and that's what we did for them, as far as developing stuff like that. And it was 2004, and getting a little remembrance on that, the dates on that. Yeah, 2004, 2003, 5, 6, 7, you know, up to about 2008. Yeah.
Well, I appreciate you giving us your insight. What so far has been the best part about this experience here for you?
Seeing the people. You know, it's you start way back when, and you've seen how it went up and down, but 80 some canoes to 100 and some, and bringing back the communities that they're learning, that they're starting to practice at the norm. And at the age, when we were there, the age was almost 25 and above. You look at it now, the age is 25 and below. Yeah. And that's really awesome. That's really awesome to see, And so to watch the canoes and watching them coming in, it's always good to see the elders amongst them, but you see the younger people in control. And that's beautiful, to see that.
We are here today with Donnie Stevenson.
Yes, sir.
Stevenson, right. Okay. And you are the vice chair of the Muckleshoot tribe. And we're here at Muckleshoot Community Center, which is a beautiful facility. Can you start out and tell me just a little bit about when you started this or what the idea was? Were you on council when you guys got this going here?
Yeah, so one of my proudest accomplishments during the time that I've been on council is the completion of our community center. So we've been realistically sort of in need of this facility for about 25 years since the last one closed. It's been a point of discussion for a very long time to actually have been able to pull the trigger, get it done, have it built, be open, hosting the Canoe Journey in 2023, allowing our members in and to own this space. It's such a great thing to be able to say that we got done this year. So really exciting. This is the first big event that's been held here.
Well, it's awesome. You guys did a great job. It's exciting. I love all the outdoor seating for the eating, and then the youth center on the back. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, so I would say that the facility itself is intended for the entirety of the tribal community, that realistically this is a building that's owned by the tribe and is used for any and everything that they can think of. Sports, obviously, you see the amazing basketball complex that we have. But really celebrations, weddings, birthday parties, anything people can come in to do. The youth facility being tied to the back of this building is so that they have direct access to all of those facilities. It's a really interesting setup. It's a one-way in, one-way out kind of thing. So if you're a part of the youth program, you have to go in through that entrance, and they can access this side, but this side can't access that. And it keeps our young ones safe, protected, but able to be here kind of immediately. And if it's not about the youth, who's it about? So.
That's a concept I see consistently throughout your properties, what you're doing. I had the opportunity to visit your Muckleshoot Tribal School, and I was stopped at the gate. I was like, there's a gate on this place. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So, high quality service and everything we do is about investment in the next. I mean, not only as Muckleshoot people, but I think just as Indian people, that's who we are. So when our leadership gets together and our community makes decisions, it's with the mind that the youth and our future is where our resources belong. Obviously, we honor our elders and where our knowledge and ancestors' teachings come from. But the youth are really where the tribe invests most heavily. Education, I would say also. Our leadership has been really proactive from the time that we've had the economic viability that we have today. So, you're talking sort of tribal gaming and casinos. We opened ours in 1995, and that investment has been tangible, it's been real, it's been something that the tribe has been dedicated to from day one. It's incredibly cool to see as a leader today, but really I'm like one of the first of the generation that benefited from that. I'm a first generation college graduate. I didn't know anybody when I went away to school who had been to college. I could count tribal members on the fingers of one hand. So I couldn't even ask people about advice. What's this going to be like? And today we have literally hundreds of college graduates in all areas, in all fields, who all have come back to work and serve our tribe and our members. And today's a celebration of exactly that. We're talking about honoring our warriors, past and present. That's our present day warriors, those folks who have gone out and done that, and they're here serving our people.
Nice. So that's a great statement about the tribe and the community, and really it says a lot about your people and where your priorities lie. That's really exciting. Can you tell me, so what are some of the most significant things about this canoe journey for you guys?
So I think there are a handful of things you could talk about when it comes to hosting, particularly this year. So it's been, so the last time we hosted is so long ago. You're talking 2006, which I think, doing the math, 17 years. So 17 years since we've had something of this scale hosted here at the tribe. I think you couple that with the fact that we're coming off of this worldwide pandemic that had impacted not only our community or tribal communities, but it was sort of worldwide, right? And one of the things about that time is how disconnected everything became. It was all about sort of staying home, staying sheltered, staying away from people in community, which is the exact opposite thing of what tribal people would normally do in hard times. So it's this crazy time that is almost unprecedented for the generations who are here today. And instead of our people being able to do what we're used to, which is coming together, they were ultimately telling us that it made more sense for us to stay apart. And for safety and all of that totally made sense, and I get it, but at the same time our soul suffered, our spirit suffered. So to be able after 4 years to be on just on the water, which is, we're a people of the Salish Sea, that's who we are. It doesn't exist without us, we don't exist without it. And so to be able to come together and as nations, canoe people, share that time, share that space, and then to come here home and celebrate that experience, man, it couldn't be a more exciting or a better opportunity. We're so proud that we are the tribe who gets to host the first one after such an extended break of not being able to do so. Really meaningful, really powerful. I think that's why you see 11,000 people here. I think coupled with the fact that we haven't had a journey in 4 years, you put that with the fact that Muckleshoot is hosting, and I think generally, you could maybe tell me a little better, but I think we're regarded as a gracious and generous host, and so I think those things have come together in a way that's exciting, and really people have shown up.
Yeah, no, I think that overall the Muckleshoots have done a wonderful job in hosting everybody. I think the logistics on it have been handled really well, and seeing everybody in such good spirits has been really exciting. Last night we got the opportunity to go check out the jam.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about that.
So that was super exciting to me because it was a youth jam, right? So kind of the same thing we were talking about, and it being all about the future and the next, and to watch our young people step up and to take those leadership roles. I speaking for myself as a tribal leader, one of the things I've always tried to do is to make sure that I'm preparing the next person to be ready for the job that I hold today, right? As a tribe, every one of us has value, and we have a role to play within our community, and every one of us contributes to the greater good of who Muckleshoot is. And to be able to see that, and our young people to take the lead and to put themselves forward in a way where their culture is being represented, it makes you so proud. My daughter, who is 21 years old, young person, was part of the canoe greeting yesterday, and to see her up on the stage and offering a welcome to our visitors and our relations, it just affected my heart and my spirit in a way that's hard to put into words. But as a leader, as a member of the tribe, as a father, that's what it's all about. And when I watch a jam hosted by our young people, I feel the same way. It's knowing that our future is safe, knowing that the best is yet to come, and that we have laid a foundation for them to be able to take those positions. I just can't wait to see where we go when they're in the seats that we're in today.
Yeah, that's exciting to look forward to. Yeah,
it really is. It really is. That's what it's all about.
Yeah. Well, we covered a lot. There's a lot of great things that you talked about. Is there anything that you think that people should know maybe about your culture or your community or what's going on around here?
Yeah. So I think, realistically, one of the things that I would just like to sort of put out there in terms of Muckleshoot and who we are is that we really are sort of a people, first people of this region and within sort of the city of Seattle. And you talk about what our usual and accustomed and where we're from. It's from the shores of the Puget Sound and along Alkai Point, where we accepted all of these 100+ canoes yesterday, all the way to the you know, the Cascade Range, which you can see from here, and all of that area made up where we lived, where we're from, and what our homeland entails. And it's incredibly exciting and a really proud opportunity for us to share that with not only the surrounding relations and Indigenous communities and Indian people, but also all of the guests that have come along to sort of learn a little bit about who we all are. You don't have another event in all of Indian country that looks like what this looks like. You're talking about 10,000 plus Indigenous people who are coming together, that were joyous, that were celebrating, and just the pure volume is something that is hard to wrap your head around. Can you imagine if during colonial times, us 10,000 Indians would have found a way to come together, how different our history could look today? So to be a part of that movement going on now, it makes me incredibly happy and incredibly proud.
Out here with, what's your name?
Russell.
And you are?
Cecilia.
Tyrell.
Megan. Marvin. Natalie.
All right, and where are you guys from?
Lummy.
Lummy, all right. Were you paddling?
Some of us were.
Some of you?
I was paddling.
You're paddling? You're paddling?
Land crew.
Land crew, all right.
Land crew.
Land crew?
Land crew.
All right. So, land crew, how long you guys been here?
We just got here today.
All right. Is this your first paddle?
No.
No?
This is my first paddle,
All
my
right.
first journey on the canoe.
All right. How'd it go for you?
It was all right.
How'd it go for him?
I think he's really enjoying it and getting the healing that he needs.
All right. That's good. Is this your first paddle? You guys are a ground crew?
Yeah. Yeah, this is my first paddle and I'm land crew.
Yeah. Me and her have been camping a while, kind of, but it's kind of something different to help with land crew.
Nice. That's cool. Did you guys do any singing while you're out there?
Yeah.
Yeah. You guys sing?
Yeah.
You didn't just bring to sell those drums or nothing? No?
A little bit of that too.
A little bit of that? Hey, you guys want to sing me a song?
We're actually on our way to go sing songs right now.
So you want warm up with this?
I think we warmed up from on the canoe, bro.
Oh, okay. That's good. That's good. So let me ask you this. So how long have you been paddling?
When I first started, it was 2007.
How about, and this is your first one, but how long have you been paddling?
My first year.
Oh, it's totally first. So, okay. How about you?
It's my first year
right.
on journeys.
And you guys all Lummy?
Yeah.
All right. No, where are you from?
I'm from Musqueam.
Where's that?
That's down in Vancouver, BC.
Up.
Up in Vancouver, BC.
Okay.
I get that.
Down past California. Go down past Mexico. Keep going.
No, it's the other.
No, that's good. All right, that's good. So you have some feathers on your hat.
Yeah, it's called a spinner. I actually just bought it.
Oh, yeah. What do they represent? I've seen them around.
For some occasions, it's like for when we're dancing, it's from people from looking at our faces when we're dancing. For some occasions.
All right. And whose feathers are these?
Friends.
And can you talk a little bit about these?
It's just somewhat protection when we're dancing on the floor as well.
All right. So how long are you going to be here for?
Until the 6th of August.
Oh, so you guys are here all week. Yeah. All right. What are you looking forward to the most?
Showing the people what we can do and just rock the floor.
All right. So what's your last name? Tell me your full name. Tell me what your ancestors call you.
Tyrell Deshaun Solomon Ward.
All right, Ward. Huh?
Yeah.
All right, how about you?
Russell Vaughn George.
George. George even. Huh? How about you?
Cecilia Louise Lawrence.
What was the last name?
Lawrence.
Lawrence. All right, how about you?
Mine's from like kind of down south and kind of up in Canada where she's from. It's Christian.
Okay. And your name?
Marvin Record.
A little pride.
Marvin Rick Ward.
Ward. There you go.
Mine's Natalie Simeon Christian. Natalie Myra Simeon Christian.
All right, there you go. That sounds good. So you guys are the next generation. We are out here with the auntie of all aunties. Hey, what's your name?
Leona Jones.
Leona. All right, Leona. Where are you from?
Pacheedaht First Nation in Port Renfrew, BC.
Oh, okay. Is that on the coast? Is it on Vancouver Island? Where is
Vancouver Island, yes.
Vancouver Island. All right. Is this your first paddle?
No, we went to paddle to, I can't remember where, but 2019.
Oh, Lummi maybe?
Yes,
Yeah.
and that was the first time we had a canoe in the water in over 20 years, and that was our lady works with, or she is a doctor at UVic, Dr. Sarah Wright Cardinal, and she got a grant, and then in that grant we were gifted a canoe, I think it's fiberglass, and since then, well, I went to Nia Bay, Washington, seen our relative, and I asked him if he knows how to make a canoe, because I found out at a band meeting that we could get a cedar log taken down for a project, and so I asked him if he'd come over, and that was during the pandemic, but I still kept bugging him to contact our health department, and it did happen. That's the canoe that we traveled in today, well, the paddlers.
So you guys did a dugout during the pandemic?
It was just in the last year.
Oh, okay. That's cool. How many people were carving on it? Do you know?
There was a few of the youth with the master carver, and anybody in the community could help. And
How big is it? Do you know how many people it seats? Or
I think it's 11.
Oh, that's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for sure. And you're on this canoe. You came down in that.
Yes.
All right. How were the waters?
Oh, I just went in from just on near the shore to the.
Oh yeah. It's pretty good though.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, they did great. Actually, you know where the West Coast Trail is? That it was our West Coast Trail workers that did the paddling from Lower Elwha to here, and they did great. I'm so proud. It makes me so proud because since the government gave the apology, I realized where all this dysfunction came from, and so I said I got to go home. So I've been home since then, and fighting alcohol, and I'm 7 years in sobriety now.
All right, congratulations.
Thank you. And yes, I was just so worried for our children, our future. I like that saying. And so I pray a lot for them, prayed for our culture, traditions to come back, and it's working. Prayers work.
You know, I have heard, because we had a big movement on the inland tribes, on the Upper Columbia tribes in particular, Spokane's, Kalispell's, Colville's, Coeur d'Alene's, and the Kootenays. But we hadn't had canoes on the water in forever. But everybody that was involved with the carving of it, you know, they have a support crew that follows around on land, and they help them put up camp and that kind of thing. But for everybody involved, the cooks, the paddlers, the people carving, it's all been so healing for them. And a lot of them have been searching for something to help them overcome a lot of the things that they've had to deal with for generations for some of them. So it's been really good for our people. So I'm sure you guys have some of that good energy coming out through your canoes projects too.
Yes, there's it was Micah McCarty that was the master carver, and Sarah and our chief and council made all this possible to do this journey, tribal journey, paddle to Muckleshoot 2023, yes. And
cool. What so far has been the best part of this trip for you?
oh, I just love the little ones. I have 7 grandchildren, one of them here, and 1 great grandson. But I just love that they're here, all the little ones, because they're learning.
What is there anything you'd like to say to maybe the First Nations or all of Indian country?
Yes, there's I say I like to say that forgiveness and prayer are hand in hand. There's so many, like you said, a lot of healing to do. So forgive yourself, forgive all that.